What's up, everybody? Yeah, whether you're watching us on Pete's stream or my stream on Twitter or on the YouTube channel, we're walking through here to talk about some different Cornucopia stuff, and Pete's looking to get humbled in some racing. Is that right?
You got it the other way around. I haven't logged in for at least a couple of weeks, so has anything changed?
Well, if depending on how long it's been, the inventory system went live pretty recently. Did you have a chance to test that out?
No, I haven't. That looks like a backpack over there. I don't have a backpack.
Yes. Yeah. So let's see if they have one in here. They do not. So the backpacks you have to find. Let me switch to game view because my stream is probably confused as to.
This is cool. It's got a. I'm just opening up this crate and I can see all this loot in there.
Yes, yeah. You've got an inventory system now that you can mess with. You can attach a pack, which if you see sitting on my back here, I've got a backpack that is holding additional inventory items that I can store stuff in.
Is this how we can get points and stuff? Because I've been playing for ages and I can see this point system against characters, but I'm not getting any points.
So with the update came a little bit of a bug that are like the points are accumulated by getting hollow caches.
Yeah, those things.
But then in the top left-hand corner it'll say 0 out of 0.
Yeah,
that's a bug. It's supposed to collect all of them and award you points for it and bring up experience. But yeah, it's a little thing. They've got ways to fix it, but I just haven't taken the time to fix it myself.
All right.
But yeah, like the biggest update that just came out was the inventory systems, which allows you to go and search for different stuff that currently doesn't really do anything in the game right now, but I was super stoked about it because in a game system, a inventory system is the equivalent of like a cryptocurrency wallet. So this really like transforms the nature of what you can do in a game and what kind of different features you can build in it and ownership over assets and the ability to do different stuff. So yeah, I was pretty stoked about this one.
So it's worth collecting all that stuff now and maybe it'll be of some sort of value in the future. Maybe. It
could be. I mean, yeah, we're starting at ground zero right now, so we don't know what any of this stuff is going to be used for. They haven't told us anything about what the copper's used for or these credit ships that have different values. There's a few different things in there that and they're adding more items in there as well. There are different rarities of different items, and there's like one of one item that drops one time a day. It's this like mysterious cube or something, and they've been like given that task in the community with trying to locate that item because it's so rare.
I did see posts about that. That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that does come out as NFTs and you can like exchange it out at some point in time.
That would be dope. I think that like where they're at right now, they're really just testing waters with like different items and people's ability to collect them, and they are finite too. So like I go in and I check this box, and if I empty it, just take everything out of it, which I can't do because my inventory is pretty full. But
Jesus,
if I were to do that, you wouldn't see anything in that box because I've already taken anything out of it. Ooh, there's a couple of packs here in this box on the far right over here.
Oh, yeah. I'm picking up logs. I really don't think I need to pick up this log.
I mean, there's no need for anything, because nothing can be used right now. But it's really just about like, testing inventory management systems. Mm-hmm. What's really cool about this is like the shape of it, and it adds a whole different mechanic to it where you have to properly organize your inventory. It adds a whole nother layer of strategy to the game that I think will be really interesting. And they've also said too that you'll at some point be able to like rotate items so that you can manage it a little bit better, a little bit more custom build.
Yep.
Yeah. it's really cool. It's like a feature like that. I've seen it in some games, most notably, and it's a game that I keep referencing in a lot of my videos. A game called Escape from Tarkov.
Oh, I love that game.
Yes, yeah, that's like, you know, one of the games that I reference that's on the cutting edge of, like, you know, different creative features of games, and Cornucopias appears to be doing, like, you know, really trying to stay there on the, like, most creative, cutting edge in-game mechanics that are out there in the industry.
Yeah, I love those survival-based games where you explore the world, you potentially team up with other people, or you just go ballistic and just kill everyone you can find.
Yeah. So now, before we jumped on stream, I know that you said that game audio is not coming through on stream. Is it coming through for you in your own headset?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so this was one of the features that I think is a little bit older than the inventory systems, but they've started putting Seven's music in here. This is a little, like, concert zone that people can just, like, you know, hang out and listen to music, and they've got more music coming pretty shortly.
It's pretty good music. I've been, like, chilling out to it quite a bit too.
For real, like, the community's been asking nonstop to get this on Spotify.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it sounds like they're moving that direction, as well as, you know, some of the other tracks that they're dropping.
Who is this Seven? Is it some artist they found, or and they?
Seven is a community member in the community. He's been there since the very beginning. He's one of the main founders of the Corn Mafia. So he's been in the community, you know, since day one, and he was out there creating some music about Cornucopias. A lot of the tracks that you listen to are, like, you know, some of his own stuff. He's got a YouTube channel that he's posted on. He made some Cornucopias themed music in the early days, and that caught the attention. He was on episode 7 of Kopi Cafe.
Wow.
And yeah, he's been with the community since the very beginning, and, you know, he's just gotten so connected that it got to the point that they brought him onto the team, and now he's creating custom music in the Cornucopias universe, and creating all of this, like, Cornucopias themed music that they're using for promotional materials. It's really cool to see how they're, like, bringing community members.
That is so cool. Like, what else better to get, you know, your talent from people that are passionate about the community and the game as well. So it's just a win-win for everyone.
100%. Yeah. So now, this right here, the GTI Jester, has anybody, like, shown this to you, or, like, explained what the deal is here?
No.
Oh, dude.
I have looked at it and, you know, explored all the vehicles and stuff, but what's the deal?
Yeah. So the GTI Jester, it's not a vehicle that is available right now. Nobody can own this one. But it's, you know, as you can tell, like, just based on the scale, it's huge. This is the only known X-Class vehicle that we have available for Cornucopias. Not available, but the only known X-Class vehicle that we know about. The X-Class is supposed to be the fastest class of vehicles. We've got, you know, the Valley Raceworks T3. That's an A-Class vehicle. One of the mints that they're going to be dropping pretty soon, the F9R. That's an S-Class vehicle, just one step above the A-Class. Well, so this vehicle right here, it's not going to be something that you're just going to mint from an NFT sale. This NFT is going to be awarded to winners of different competitive races that Cornucopias has throughout the competitive future of Cornucopias, and that's starting this year. They're going to start launching that whole competitive environment, and people that win those different competitive scenes that they develop, probably for, like, different classes. If you're a C-Class winner, maybe you'll get one of these. If you're an S-Class winner, you'll probably get one of these, and that's the only way that you're going to be able to get access to this vehicle as an NFT.
I've got to get my game time up.
That's what everybody's thinking. And, like, you know, the fact that people have access to it right now, it's like, like, yeah, let's start practicing, because there are lots of people that are going to be getting their hands on this real soon and wanting to go after this one, because it's going to be incredibly rare.
Yeah, could you imagine someone selling this on a marketplace afterwards? Someone's going to want to snap it up.
I could imagine it. Yeah, I mean, like it's so rare that like I'm not sure if anybody's going to want to be able to. Anybody's going to want to like let go of this one, because I'm betting that in the first round of these NFTs that drop, there's only going to be a handful of them. It's going to be the most rare vehicle that Cornucopias has to offer, and that includes like all of the OG vehicles that are already incredibly scarce.
Oh boy! All right, we'll see how this one goes.
Yeah, right.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah. It's going to be cool. We've already kind of got a competitive scene developing in Cornucopias, because there's a channel in the Cornucopias Discord where people can like report their times, and we've got a pretty good sense of like who the best racers are in the community. There's a solid like top 4 or 5 that everybody's pretty well aware of, and some of those like other top spots are relatively up for grabs. But we know who the better racers are in the community, and those are the people that we're looking to for like, you know, competitive tips, like trying to emulate how they do what they do, because it's actually impressive. Like it's very difficult to be able to replicate, even for a minute, let alone consistently, what it is that they've performed when it comes to times.
What kind of lap times are people getting?
So the thing right now that everybody's pushing for, at least with the A-class vehicles that we have access to, everybody's trying to break like 1 minute, 1 second, or I think it's sub 1 minute on the yellow track. Something in that range. And I know people have done it before, but I wasn't totally sure if they broke it with the very limited time release that we got to be able to play around with the S-Class vehicles. They had like a week-long trial period where people were allowed to use the F9R. But yeah, I'm not totally sure if they broke 1 minute with the S-Class, or if they broke it with A-Class vehicles.
All right, I think I've got a long way to go, actually. Sub 1 minute. I've got a long way to go.
Yeah, and the difference like that 1 second makes is like a huge difference. Like I think my best single lap time is something in the ballpark of 104, like just barely 104, and I don't do that consistently.
Yeah,
and I am not anywhere close to that top 10 like level of racers. There's some serious like precision drivers out there.
So I'm not getting one of these jesters at all then, I think.
Well, I would practice with C-class vehicles if you're gonna go for it, because nobody races like bubble jets or you know, any of these GTI guys, because everybody's trying to play around with the fastest vehicles.
Yeah.
So everybody plays with the A-class vehicles, and that's, you know, that's where most people hang out like almost all of the time.
All right.
But the other vehicles, like every class of vehicle is a whole different ball game. There are people that are like pretty okay with A-class vehicles, but absolutely suck with like C-class vehicles, because it's just like I don't want to say it's a different mechanic, but it's like a different pattern. The game that Cornucopias has created, it's on the racing side, it's got the right bones to be a legit like competitive framework. It is a difficult game to play, and it's very precision based. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I like the direction that it's headed.
Now, to play the game at the moment, because it's in early alpha, you do need a certain NFT, and it took me a little while to work it out.
Yes.
I just didn't read the fine print.
In order to get access right now, you do have to own an NFT. I believe it's land NFTs or vehicle NFTs. I can't quite remember. I think they did extend it out to common and uncommon holders. That might have just been for a limited time. I could be mistaken on that one. But not only do you have to have an NFT, but you also have to have the right computer specs for it. because lower spec computers cannot run this thing very well, and they're still trying to collect as much data as they can for performance metrics. On how all of this stuff is working with people of different computers.
Yeah, I had a whole bunch of different issues like getting the game up and running, but it seems to be smooth now. I'm on Ultra without anti-aliasing, and it seems to be pretty good. Thankfully, I was playing on really low quality, and I just wasn't happy. But tweaked my GPU. I've got a lot of fans running at the moment, so it's a lot better.
Solid, yeah.
All right. Now the other recent news. Yeah, well, I have been watching, but they had all those centralized exchange listings recently for the copy token.
Yeah, that was actually kind of wild. I did guess which centralized exchanges there were going to be, just because. So they got listed on BitTrue and MEXC, which are two. I don't want to say top tier exchanges, because everybody looks at Coinbase and Binance and all of those like really Kraken, Crypto.com. Those are some like major epic level centralized exchanges that get a ton of volume. But I think that MEXC and BitTrue are solid contenders. They've demonstrated before that they're open to listing Cardano native tokens. They've listed tokens like Noom, and they've listed Meld tokens. They've listed a few others. I think World Mobile is on, I want to say, at least MEXC. So yeah, like it was pretty wild that they announced both of those exchanges on the same day. That was pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
But it makes sense to me, and I think this is the right direction that they need to be headed, because without access to the token, it's not going to do as well in the next bull market cycle without that access to it.
Yeah, it needs to be everywhere. People need to be able to get the token. I get questions all the time. Like I talk about some strange token, some strange project, and they're asking, "How do I get this? Well, why can't I see it on KuCoin? Like, is it a scam project or something?" So it's all about paying for these listings. I think this upcoming bull run, so project actually appear. But then that particular exchange also has to support a Cardano native token. So it's we're limited there too.
Yep. They've got to have the infrastructure. It's got to be reliable. I think we're getting there. I think we're growing in legitimacy. People are starting to realize that Cardano native tokens are out there. They're available. I think that it's a positive show for the industry. That there are these cryptos out there that are making those first moves, shaking those hands, and starting to get the word out there about everything. So it's really exciting.
Yeah, we'll get there. And what's the utility with a copy token at the moment? I know NMaker just announced, you can pay any NFT with any token now. So that pretty much gives everyone extra utility, which is insane. But what can the users use the copy token for?
So right now, the primary use case of the Kopi token is supposed to be an in-game use case. You'll be able to exchange Kopi tokens for in-game currencies that you'll be able to interact with within the game, and then there will also be a off-ramp as well, where you can take those tokens and exchange them for whatever the value of those assets look like in reference to Kopi tokens when it comes to all of the directly on-chain stuff. So that's the intended use case in the future. But like right now, the Kopi token, you can use it for some NFT mint, depending on what the nature of it is, and they've experimented with that. So you can use it to purchase some NFTs whenever they have NFT mints that are happening on Cardano. You can stake them. There are token vaults that are available on ViFi that you can earn interest on your Kopi tokens for. I think that might be it at the moment. I think that's where it's at right now.
Yeah. I read somewhere about these game nodes for I think it's like download servers for the game, and there was an NFT that you could buy. You may need Kopi tokens to host a game server. I think you have to like stake a certain amount. Not entirely sure about that, but then you also earn Kopi tokens.
So there's going to be a variety of different nodes that you'll be able to utilize in game, that people will be able to help support the Cornucopias infrastructure. But this particular node that they're working on right now is the game file node, and what that does is it's supposed to decentralize the access to in-game files and updates. So people that want to download the game, typically with traditional game infrastructure, they'll download it from Steam or directly on the game's website or something like that, and whatever location that server is located at, that's the location they're downloading the game from. And if you've ever tried to download like a game that's 100 gigabytes or something, of that like massive file size, typically it'll take a long time. I want to say like I've had downloads that take as long as 10 or 12 hours, depending on how far away it is, or like, internet speed is also a factor. The quality of your hardware also plays a factor. But what these file nodes do is it increases the capacity of somebody's ability to download the game faster based on somebody that is running a Kopi file node. So if somebody out there, in Australia has a file node that they are running, instead of you downloading from, say, maybe the central location is Europe or something, and you're downloading the file from there, it's going to take a lot longer without the file node infrastructure. So the file node is going to like really significantly increase your ability to download the game a heck of a lot faster, so that people can get in faster. The experience from start to finish is a heck of a lot faster. You don't have to own Kopi tokens to be able to run those nodes. But based on the performance of how often your Kopi node, if you're running one, based on the uptime, based on how much your node is being used to provide files and updates to people, it's based on those performance metrics that you will get rewarded in Kopi tokens.
That makes total sense. It's I love being able to participate in different ecosystems by providing these type of services, and I just missed out on these mints, unfortunately. Yeah. So I can't get one of those NFTs to to create one of these game file servers. But who knows? It might appear on the secondary markets, and I'll be able to pick one up then.
Yeah. Well, so you didn't actually miss it, because it's a very long-term thing that they're going for. They're doing different phases of the sale, and I think they've listed like 12 different phases. At each phase, the price does keep going up. So it's supposed to incentivize you to get it sooner. I actually only minted one, and I'll tell you why. So the infrastructure for the nodes, it might not be available to launch right away at the start of it. I've been a little bit unclear on that one. They might actually have it up and running, but for the first year, you're estimated to get something in the ballpark of like, I think it was 1,200 Kopi tokens. So the way that I was looking at the pricing at that time, the cost of the file node NFT was actually more in US dollar value than that 1,200 Kopi tokens.
Yeah.
So what I actually did is I bought a bunch of Kopi tokens at that time. I expect Kopi tokens to do pretty well, given that like I think it was something like 40%. Maybe it was 60% of the overall supply is committed to in-game rewards. It's committed to game incentives, but the game's not going to be live, and at least by the end of this year, where the main game loops for production and all that stuff. That's not going to be live until a little bit later down the road, probably like sometime next year. So I don't expect that the supply of the token is going to jump in any substantial way that would dilute the supply. So
gotcha.
What I'm getting at is I expect the Kopi token to do well, so I put a bunch into Kopi so that when the price of Kopi tokens appreciates and people start realizing what's being built here, then I can sell it and put it into more Kopi nodes so that I can actually make those Kopi tokens back in the equivalent value.
Interesting strategy. Not financial advice for anyone, but yes, very interesting strategy.
Advice, of course. Yep. So the elevators that we just went through. So you might have, I don't know if you've played around with racing previously, but those elevators used to take you directly into a sort of viewing booth that was overlooking Cornucopias racing tracks and everything. And from there, you could enter the game at these little panels like this that allow you to select different things. But they relatively recently switched it up so that those elevators bring you here to the Kalido Pavilion, where they've got all of these stores that are everywhere. It's kind of like an indoor mall that we're looking at here. Up there, we've got Kopi Cafe. Over there, we've got the Pulse Power Bar. Somewhere in the corner over there, there's a Rumble Ball court.
Yeah, I saw that.
Very much like an indoor mall that we're looking at here. And this now is how they changed it. This is the interface for all of the racing access. So it's a pretty cool lobby that we all get together at, and whenever we do racing outings and stuff, we end up all meeting up here, and it's a big party before we jump in.
Sweet. I got to get in on these race times and stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of mechanics to it. Like I said, there's a lot of precision. There's a couple of guys out there that I watch. I've been trying to really get down Eddie Z's playstyle. He does have a YouTube channel where he streams some Cornucopias racing and some other games too. But he's got a stream that he did probably like a month ago now, where he narrates what he's doing at every step. Like, I'm letting off the gas now. I'm braking into this turn. I'm hitting the boost at this point. It's very precise the way he does it. I've been trying to copy it, not very well, but I've been trying.
All right, so I've been holding the boost all the way, so I've got to change my strategy.
A little bit. You ready to get crushed here?
I think I might.
All right. What class do you want to run? Do you own a T3 or what you been running?
I thought you could play anything you want, so I may be wrong.
So you do have classes. You do have vehicles available in every class. There's some that's available to everybody. There's this Bubble Jet Bonanza, which is not an NFT that's available yet. It's a B class vehicle. Anybody can race this one right now, and that's partially because it's not available. But there are NFTs that you have to own in order to be able to race them.
Gotcha.
So, the GTI Javelin, you have to own one of those in order to anything that's an NFT basically. You have to own it in order to be able to race it. But then there are these Valley Raceworks T1 vehicles, and there's a version for every class. So there's an A class, there's a B class, and there's a C class version of the Valley Raceworks T1. So there's free vehicles that are available that can compete in every different class.
Yeah.
But yeah, not every vehicle is available just for anybody to race. You do have to own some of them.
Okay. Well, I've been using the Valley Raceworks T1A. Either the Black Stealth or the Red Canyon. They're the ones that I've been playing with.
Yeah, okay. Class A, that is the fastest class. I like to run the T3. The T3, I think, is a crowd favorite for a lot of people.
Yep.
It's funny that a lot of people complain about how often Cornucopias does NFT mints, because anybody who is in here regularly racing with Cornucopias NFTs with these different vehicles, we have a actual shortage of vehicles. There is a very short selection of strategic diversity. When everybody runs in here, everybody runs the T3. And it's kind of the same for the C class. Everybody pretty much runs the bubble jet. So it's funny to me that like lots of people complain about like, oh, another NFT, but like, you know, the community is like, no, we'd actually like some more. Like we need some more selection here.
All right.
It's not enough.
Okay. Well, let's give this T3 a go then. Class A T3.
Class A. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, and yellow track.
Yeah, yellow. Oh, I didn't even know there was different tracks.
Yes, there are 2 tracks. Most people, including, you know, Rob Gregg himself, only runs yellow track, and that's it. They don't even go near the red track because it is substantially more difficult.
Right.
There are obstacles in the way. There's a lot harder turns. It's a longer track, but yeah, that is a challenging one.
All right.
And apparently there's one more track in the works too. I think I heard somebody say that it's going to be a blue track. But yeah, we'll see. I think that one is done or almost done, and it should be releasing sometime soon, maybe along the F9R.
So you
said Roland's here.
Cool. There's other people.
Roland's pretty good. He's been trying real hard to like break into that top 10 area, and I think he's getting close.
Okay. Great. So I'm going to get my ass crashed here.
Yeah. Well, you won't be alone on that. I mean, at least I'll beat you, but yeah. No.
Oh, really? We'll see about that. All right. Now you don't need to like jump in your vehicle or anything. The game just loads into the vehicles, right?
Yeah. So the servers only do one race at a time.
Yeah.
So you'll see at the top left-hand corner there's a next race countdown timer, and everybody jumps in, and you jump into this little waiting lobby here, where everybody that's going to race,
yeah,
they are part of it. If there's a race happening, then people jump in here, and then that top left-hand corner says something like current race time. And it gives you a timer of like how long the race has been going.
Yeah,
and then
1 second left.
That timer ends. Yeah, then jump into.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Ah! Not a good start, not a good start. Slow and steady wins the race, that's my motto.
Yeah. I want to change that one. I'm no expert, but
Where on earth are you guys? Where have you disappeared to? I can't even see you.
Yeah, Roland's on my butt somewhere. I'm up here, but like I know he's hugging me because I can see the little progress bar up at the top there, and yeah, he's close.
All right, I got destroyed. Come on, come back in. As long as you guys don't lap me, then I should be all right.
Well, I'm not making any promises, but it's in the side there. Again, not good. So, Pete, when you're racing, are you racing with the keyboard your controller connected.
Keyboard and mouse, actually.
Oh man, he destroyed me. Okay. So what I find is that racing, some people can do it, but like racing is significantly easier with the game controller.
Yeah. So I have to get a gaming control for this to really fine-tune this.
I mean, like, you know, everybody's different. I think that there's PC gamers out there, at least not in the existing Cornucopias community. I don't think. I think mostly everybody does game controller. But yeah, like racing is it is so much easier with the game controller.
Okay.
The keyboard, yeah, some people just can't do it at all. Some people have, you know, done it moderately successfully. But yeah, it's simpler that way, and it's nice too. It's accessible to a lot more gamers because Cornucopias is one of the few Web3 games out there that is actually at this time in the market actually controller enabled. Everybody's got it on the roadmap, and they're like yeah, we're gonna make that happen at some point in the future.
Yep.
But, yeah, Cornucopias actually, you know, has it right now.
From the get-go.
Super nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, come on. Stay on track. See, I've always played racing games with the keyboard. I was surprised that I could actually use the mouse with it as well. So the mouse actually lets me fine-tune some of the curves. Still suffering a bit here there. I haven't seen you guys since the starting line. Hang on. There's Roland. Alright, did I come second?
See him too. I'm like on his tail.
Race finish. Where are you guys? Did you get an extra lap or something?
No. You. Oh, maybe we did.
Yeah, you might have. Just going to turn down the...
Yeah, that does happen sometimes. The extra lap glitch that is.
extra lap glitch. There you go. And there you.
Dang.
That's some fast lap times. That's actually my best lap time I've ever gotten.
Is it the 113?
Yeah, 113.
Yeah.
120 previously.
Terrible. Yeah,
Yep.
like that's where a lot of people first time that they play this game, like, you know, I remember getting times that's like 130, 131. It's a hard game. It's like it's legitimately challenging. There's a learning curve to it, and I think that's it's one of the things that's gonna make it really interesting to a lot of people, is that like it's not as easy as it sounds. It's not just like jumping on the track and not crashing, but it's like there's kind of a pattern to it.
Oh boy. Now I've got to look into how much these game controllers are and if it's worth me getting one or not.
I think you know, you can grab an Xbox controller for as cheap as well, maybe even as cheap as $20. But I think the one that comes directly from Xbox, that's like Windows licensed, that's probably the safest one. I want to say those run in the ballpark of $40 or something.
Yeah, okay. And it's just USB, so it'll plug into a PC just fine.
Yeah, or if your PC is Bluetooth enabled, it'll connect directly to your PC through Bluetooth, and you know, when you turn it on, it automatically connects to the interface.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, that's really nice. But if it's wired, yeah, you can just plug it, and if it's Windows, it'll recognize it right away because Xbox.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Microsoft, good old Microsoft. Cross ecosystem compatibility. Makes sense.
So, shall we go again? Would you like to give the red track a try?
Yeah, because I have never seen it before, so I'd love to give it a try.
Yeah, okay. All right. I'll run the T3 for that one too. And I expect that Roland's probably watching one of our streams.
Maybe.
So, yeah, he will probably be jumping in. and following us.
Right. Same. What do you call it? Same vehicle, T3?
Yes, yeah, T3. That's
And red. Yeah, almost twice the length. Okay, that was good. I'm just going to try and turn down the volume of the game. It's actually quite excessive. I can barely hear you.
Adjust, because the music does get pretty loud, yeah.
Is the team planning to launch this on game consoles as well? Like, is it easy enough to port over? Yeah?
Yeah, at some point. So I think because of the way that they've been building their framework, it's supposed to be all Windows compatible. So that'll be the easiest part.
Yeah.
I think is it's already controller enabled with the Xbox controller. It's a very natural transition there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is going to be something that they get onto those platforms. When, I'm not totally sure. First, they have to work out a lot of kinks with what they have now, and as they continue developing stuff. The game actually isn't accessible for people that use Mac computers right now.
Yeah.
So that's I think next on the list, before they start expanding into consoles. And
I don't know if that's worth it. Like, what's the demographic or reach like for Mac users that are gaming? I wouldn't say it's much.
It's less, because PC users are the biggest population of gamers.
Yeah.
But there are people out there. I've got friends that play games on Mac. There are people in the Cornucopias community that haven't gotten access to it yet because they're Mac users.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's substantial enough to where they want to, create that accessibility wherever they can.
Whoa, this game's completely different this track.
Yes it is.
I have no idea where I'm going. It's pitch black and all I can see is like a little blip on the distance, which is you. And now, where the hell am I? Yeah, this is that's nice. I was stuck in an environment like this the very first time I was playing the game. It was just on loop, and I kept on respawning into a rock, and I could not get out of it.
Yeah. I might have gotten a little too excited with suggesting the red track, because at night it is incredibly difficult.
Impossible, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if you're not familiar with the track. It is, definitely changes the game. But it's kind of cool. Like it's more visually appealing, with some of the tunnels that they have and
the fog, the atmosphere. It's great.
It's pretty cool.
Like visually, the environment that these guys have put together, it's stunning. It's really nice.
Wild.
Unreal Engine 5 makes a massive difference for sure.
It's so one of the things that I like to brag about in a lot of my videos is that it's not just Unreal Engine 5. It's actually Unreal Engine 5.3.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it is apparently, I'm not a game developer by any means, but apparently the upgrade of Unreal Engine from, previous versions, 5.1, 5.2, up to 5.3, apparently 5.3 was so substantial that it could have been its own game engine version. It could have been an Unreal Engine 6.
Right.
I expect that the reason that they didn't do that is because nobody's actually built on Unreal Engine 5 yet, not from scratch, like Cornucopias has been.
Yeah.
There's not even in the traditional realm.
Really?
There's very few. Oh, yeah. There's the like Fortnite as an example. They upgraded. They didn't build from scratch.
Yeah. Okay.
To Unreal Engine.
Gotcha.
So in the traditional realm, there's a handful of games out there. I think you could count them on both hands. How many games have actually released that have built from scratch on Unreal Engine 5? Some have upgraded, but it's a different story, I think.
And Yeah, and some of these games are upgrading. Their graphics wouldn't have changed much now, would they?
Yeah. No,
'Cause-
there would have been some visual upgrades. You'd be able to notice the difference. But
Yeah,
the
okay.
different tools that you have access to, between Unreal Engine 5 and Unreal Engine 4, and the different gaming experience that you can create if you know what tools that you're working with from the very beginning, it changes the way that you build the game.
Yeah,
you can create
gotcha.
a different experience, and the assumptions that you're building on, it just changes everything entirely. So there's a whole new cutting edge level of games that are coming from people that are building on Unreal Engine 5. Hardly anybody's actually caught up to Unreal Engine 5.3 yet. So,
Yeah, okay.
Cornucopias is really sticking on that cutting edge as much as they possibly can, and it's super exciting for the direction that they're headed and what they're using those tools for.
I've respawned into a location where I can't get out of. Ah, there we go. Finally. That took way too long.
Yeah, there's a reset button somewhere. But I
Yeah.
don't know what it is on keyboard.
It's
on the controller. I know that it's Y.
yeah. Someone did tell me that as well. You can always hit the respawn button. I was like, I can't work it out. I've pressed every button. Yeah, because those settings aren't available yet in the config, so I couldn't change it. So
Right. Yes.
unfortunately, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yep.
I just keep on driving around circles until I find an exit out of those caverns, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Back on track.
Yeah. No. It's what I do through even a lot of the turns and stuff. I have a much different play style than somebody like Roland. That's probably why he's ahead of me. They try to optimize speed as much as possible, and I think that's a mistake that a lot of newer players make jumping into this game, is they try to just hold the boost 100% of the way through, which you can't actually do without blowing up.
Yeah.
So
I know that.
What I do, yeah, what I do is, going through those caverns and stuff, I actually don't even hold on to the throttle at all. The slowness increases your handle capability
And survivability.
So I prefer exactly.
Yeah.
So I prefer to play it safe, and as much as possible, not touch the walls or not hit any obstacles, and save my damage as much as possible. Because every time you crash, that's a 6 to 9 second penalty.
Yep.
Because of all of the loss of speed that you hit into. So yeah, I play it safer, and not worry so much about going as fast as I possibly can around every turn. I try to just not die.
Yeah. Well, I keep on running into walls at the moment in the cavern area. So now I'm stuck again in here. I don't know where I am. Oh, there we go. That looks like an exit.
Yeah.
Maybe. No, that's a sign.
That's
So I'm just following the lights because it's just so dark in here. So if I see a light ahead of me, there must be something in that direction. There we go. And I'm back on track. Have you guys finished the race yet, or is it?
Yeah, I finished a minute ago, and Roland just came in. So
Okay, my lap time's 3 minutes 12, so I think I got a long way to go on this one.
yeah.
Once I can find the track, once I get back on the track, I'll catch up. I don't know how dark the track is for you guys, but mine, some parts are just pitch black.
It's pretty dark.
Yeah,
but
okay.
I have heard some complaints about that. So they want you to, as much as possible, fine-tune the settings for Cornucopias. It is supposed to be dark. In some places, it's supposed to be pitch black, but this is something that they've discussed when it comes to a lot of the core in-game game loops. They want to implement a level of realism to it.
Yeah.
Where if you're in the woods, without any light or anything, it's gonna be so dark that you can barely see your hand in front of your face.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be dangerous. There are creatures that are lurking out there. and that's supposed to create utility for different in-game tools, like
Gotcha.
flashlights,
That makes
or
sense.
headlamps, and things like that. So they're really trying to like fine-tune the different graphics features so that you're able to like experience that level of immersion and the level of realism that they're trying to bring to the game.
That's majorly cool. A lot of thought there into that game design, mechanics, rarities of those items.
I've come to absolutely love it every time David, the creative director of Cornucopias, every time he comes on Kopi Cafe, I just love listening to him talk. I sat down with him at NFTLV, and just, I sat there and I kind of like looked around and played the game while he just talked to me and explained to me some of the rationale behind, why they do different things the way that they do different things. So yeah, it's pretty wild. So yeah, that's a very long-winded way of saying adjust your settings so that maybe turn up the brightness a little bit so that you might be able to see a little bit clearer. What's out there in front of you.
No, makes sense. It's all about that realism, the game environment they're trying to create, and if I need to adjust things, I need to adjust things.
Yep.
All right, so I got my ass handed on a platter again, so that's nice. That lap time was 8 minutes something. That was abysmal.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything, but yeah.
That was tough. I have to say it's the lag time I'm getting and the gamma correction I've got to sort out. So I've got excuses for you.
Yeah, I gotcha. No, it's fair though, because it's a game that does legitimately take practice. It's difficult. It's precise, and it's not even as hard right now as it's going to be, if you can believe that.
Well, okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be real interesting. I think it creates the way for a real, actual competitive environment to be created where those obstacles are really there. And, hopefully it's in a way where like, your regular gamers, casual gamers out there can still jump in and enjoy it. But it is going to be something that like there's a level of precision to it where it's a very real competitive environment.
Yeah. You don't want to up that level of difficulty so much that people play it for a little bit and then just give up because it's just so hard. But I guess it's a balance between like some of these OGs that are going to be playing this game for like ages and years and whatever, and really build up their profiles. They're going to be quite good at this. Ah, boy. Anyway, Josh, thank you so much for taking me through Cornucopias. This has been fun.
Yeah, absolutely my pleasure. I could talk your ear off about this stuff for hours.
I know, that's why I chose you.
I'm so stoked about this game. And I'm always happy to, talk about it as long as you want. Like I'm here for it.
Yeah, we'll do another session. I'm sure they're going to have some more rolling updates soon, especially with these new vehicles coming out and whatnot. So we'll have a go at that. But then there's also that Rumble Ball as well that we got to get some more people into play. I just get some mad lag on that. Like I walk up to the ball, I'm clearly kicking it, and then suddenly it moves. So it's going to be an interesting one to play.
Rumble Ball is still very rough. It's for everybody, even people with like perfect hardware and internet. It is still rough around the edges. They're fine tuning that one still. Yeah,
right. Okay, we'll wait for some fine tuning, then we can play that one too.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, awesome, Josh. Thank you for having me humbled. I knew it was going to happen.
It is. Yeah, it is. It is my pleasure. Absolutely. Yeah. Anytime. You want to talk about this stuff or whatever, I'm here to play around, and I'm in it all the time. So I appreciate you just jumping on and talking with me about it, and having me on your channel to do it as well. It's always good fun.
All right, Josh, I'll catch you soon.
All right, bye Pete, bye everybody.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debate.